How much are you spending on your haircuts? I guess it's much more than you would expect. Hello and welcome. My name is Peter B and welcome here at My First Million, where we are trying to achieve our financial goals together. So, another video for our Atomic Financial Habits series. Today we are going to take a look at the costs of haircuts. And for this, please give me a moment to share my presentation, to share my slides. So, how much do you spend on your haircuts? So there are three questions you might need to probably consider. First, how often do you go to the hairdresser or to your barber? Then, what service do you request when you go there? And then, of course, depending where you go and what service you are requesting, you will know the average spend per visit that you are spending at your hairdresser. So I guess you also still have a lot of opportunities to optimize this. So what do usually people do when they go to the hairdresser? They usually have maybe a preferred solution. And of course, it's maybe very comfortable to go there. They make it very cozy and convenient usually for people to show up and have a relaxing time there. So for many people, maybe the preferred solution is to wash your hair first, then maybe get a cut, and then have some additional treatments. This could be maybe coloring or curling, which maybe can cost on average, depending what exactly you're choosing, but maybe could add up pretty quickly to $100 per visit. And in research, for this video, I also took a look at how expensive are hair extensions, and they are costing hundreds of dollars, when not even maybe thousands of dollars. So it can be adding up pretty quickly to a quite substantial amount. So what can you do in order to reduce your costs? You could go less often. For example, instead of going 4 times per year, so like every 1.5 months, maybe only go every 3 months. So this would be 4 times per year. Then a second reduction that you can do is just reduce what you're requesting from the service from your hairdresser. Instead of just getting getting the full program of washing, cutting, and maybe coloring, you just choose to get your hair cut. So this maybe reduces your average spend per visit maybe from $100 to just $20. And then maybe there are alternatives out there. Maybe instead of like a nice salon, there are like a drive-in barber shops, which are usually located in busy areas where people can just walk in, and if there's no line, they can get their hair cut maybe within 10 minutes. And if there's a line, maybe they just need to wait for the line in advance of them. So I used to do that quite often in my area where I'm living here in Taiwan. Here in Taiwan, there are this kind of like a drive-in hairdress shops in busy locations where you can just walk in, pay 100 Taiwan dollars, which is around maybe a little bit more than $3, and 10 minutes later or so you will walk out with a haircut. Then you can even go more extreme. You can do it yourself. You can start cutting yourself, cutting your hair yourself by using maybe a clipper or like a scissors. Scissors, to do it by yourself, it's a little bit more difficult, but maybe there's also like a YouTube tutorials on how you could be doing that. But for myself, I experienced that cutting your hair with a hair clipper is pretty easy. This is not an advertisement or promotion. It's just what I'm used to use. And of course, then maybe the last option, if you consider all the steps through from reducing up to minimizing, is stop cutting your hair. I don't think that for most of us out here, this is really an alternative option. But this would be then at least like a no cost at all. But maybe there are like some hacks out there. Maybe if you have any hacks out there to get free haircuts, please write in the comments below. Maybe one option is to let your hair grow and then get a free haircut, and they use maybe your hair then in extensions or wigs or something like that. So if you have any recommendations or any ideas of optimizing your expenses on haircuts, please write in the comments below. So now let's add this up. What are the annual costs of the different solutions? As mentioned before, the preferred options is $100. You go there 8 times per year, so it's $800 per year. And then the less often step, so point number 2, you just go 4 times, so it's $400 a year. So you cut your annual expense by half. Then reduce. If you only have a $20 cost instead of a $100 cost because you just get your hair cut, you can further reduce your annual expense to $80 a year. Then like a very cheap alternatives out there, like a walk-in or walk-in shops, maybe you can even cut it lower to $40 a year. And if you do it yourself with a clipper, maybe it's just around $1 per haircut, maybe $4 a year. And for this, I just consider maybe there's some expense for electricity and maybe some purchase expense. But this kind of clippers nowadays are pretty affordable. With 1 or 2 haircuts, you already are able to, with the price of 1 or 2 haircuts, you're already able to buy a pretty high quality hair clipper. So, do you know more or less how much are you spending on your hairdresser or on your barber? So this is just the annual cost. But what does it mean over time? What are the lifetime costs of going to the hairdresser? And for this, I consider like a 80 years life expectancy, and I list up in the non-compounded area how much you're really spending for the different options. So you see in the preferred options, you are spending $64,000 in your lifetime. That's quite a substantial amount, isn't it? And if you just do it yourself, it's a few $100s for a lifetime. But of course, we wouldn't stop here because this is a financial education channel. So if you remember our previous videos, we went through the wealth cycle. So we are not just saving money, but our goal is with our saved money is also to invest it back. And for me, I expect around, I'm expecting from my investments that they will be doubling around every 10 years. So they have consider compounding in investing. I'm expecting 10 years that my money will be doubling. And for 10 years, the rate of return is 7.2%. And if you take a look at the average rate of return that you receive from the stock market, I think 7.2% is quite reasonable. So if you take then maybe switching back quickly, the $800 per year and invest those $800 per year. Over time, of course, the amount is getting bigger and bigger what you're investing, because every year you are investing an additional $800. And if you let it compound throughout the lifetime, you will end up with around $3 million. So 3 million, if you go for the preferred solution, cost of opportunity for the preferred solution is 3 million. So if you go less often, of course, if you only go half the time, the cost of opportunity is getting half. So it's only 1.5 million that you're really paying or reducing your potential of investments. Then if you reduce your still like a 300,000 or even the alternative solution, the walk-in option, it still costs over a lifetime through the magic effect of compounding interest. Still costs you 150,000. That's a big chunk of a house payment that's going out there. And do it yourself, it's still around 15,000. So if you don't believe me, of course, never trust any statistics that you didn't manipulate it by yourself. There are a lot of like calculators out there. Here you can see I went to this website called investor.gov, where you have a savings calculator, and you also can take this as a saving. So every $800 that you're not spending is a saving. So the blue line here is representing our total contribution, like around $800 per year, and the red line is showing the returns that we are getting through the effect and the power of compounding interest. So try to play with those figures by yourself if you're interested in. So how much are you really paying for your hair at your hairdresser? It's potentially not just a few $100s per year. It's over a lifetime, considering compounding interest effect. It's thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even millions, as we have seen in this example. Just the time is playing for us if we are able to invest at the early stage. The earlier the better. So with this video, I just want to give a hint. Of course, I don't want to tell you need to cut back as much as possible, but just always consider the opportunity cost when you make a purchasing decisions. And this video should especially show that even like a smaller decisions, like getting your hair done, getting a haircut, have effect on our long-term financial performance. So if you have any ideas or any other recommendations what you can be doing to get the best value for money when it comes to haircuts, please write in the comments below and share your ideas with all of us so that we can all profit from one another. Thanks a lot for joining me today. I look forward to see you in the next video, and especially I look forward to see you winning financially.